Hey, what's up, guys? Alpha Records coming with a new update on the Eminem versus Nick Cannon beef, the renewed version of it. So, Joey Crack, or Fat Joe, as some of y'all know him, he recently released his album, right? Family Ties, with the song Lord Above, where Eminem first started the renewed Eminem versus Nick Cannon beef with his verse on that track. Now, what happens? What happens is that in every interview that Joe does in his press run that Fat Joe is doing, everybody asks him about that song, about the beef, and to him it's great, it's free press for his album, but at the same time, he might be getting a little tired of what's going on and what people are asking him. So recently he did an interview. I don't remember what it was for, what radio it is for, so I can't give a shout out at this moment, but he did an interview and he's talking about that one track. They asked him about it, how it came to be. Obviously, since it's his album, it's not like Joe hasn't heard his album before releasing it, so people are like, hey, there's a little something going on there. How did you know about Eminem's verse and you still let it be on? Nick Cannon saying that he convinced you to trick Eminem into doing that verse, etc., etc., right? So Joe kind of got tired of all these accusations and he's saying, look, I'm going to tell you what's going on. Just chill. The way it works is that Eminem always has like the last word on the track, right? And usually when he's a feature, he's always the last verse, so it's the last thing to be recorded. And in this case, it wasn't any different. Joe mentions that he had sent the track to Eminem via, I think it was Royce, and then they said, yeah, he's gonna do it. But when he got the track back, it was already mixed and mastered. Now, a lot of people think he mixed and mastered so they can't edit it anymore, they can't take part of his verse out where he's talking about Nick Cannon. But on the contrary, I beg to differ. Hear me out on this. I'm not sure if you guys have heard Eminem recently rap, but in most of his recent songs, he has parts where they cut off the beat or where they lower the beat because he goes a little too fast or because his flow is a little different, and it might not be going exactly on the snare, so it might throw people off if it has the beat on, right? That's one of the reasons that I think they mixed and mastered. And if you hear that track, there is parts in that track where that happens, where they lower the beat or they take the beat off. Now, that being the case, Eminem mixed and mastered it. He probably did a little co-production too, because he likes adding like little drum parts to his verse usually. And he sends it back to Joe, right? Now, what Fat Joe says is, look, Nick Cannon's my friend, and I'm not gonna lie, Nick Cannon, he's a cool dude. I've done songs with him in the past, but this is the only official verse that's not on a remix that I've done with Eminem. And I'm not gonna throw an Eminem verse away or an Eminem track away just because of my friendship with Nick Cannon. And since it's mixed and mastered, there's really not much you can do to it than release it that way. I'll explain. If you guys do music, or if you guys are into music production, you guys should know what stems are. So usually stems come with the beat, or you could do the stems of a full song, which means that everything is broken down, the background vocals, the main vocals, the reverbs, all that. And usually when you're gonna mix or master it, they send you the full stems, you mix them to what you think is best, and then the person that masters it goes in and does his thing on the main file that's exported from those stems. Now, the final file is something that can't really be edited because it's just one file. You can't do any individual things on it. So, when it's explained this way, you really do see that there's really not much Joe can do. His only options were either I take off an Eminem verse, or I leave that Eminem verse and just explain to Nick Cannon, like, look, it's an Eminem verse. Everyone wants that, it's part of your career growth as a rapper. Everybody that's looked up to Eminem or that's heard Eminem in the past is kind of waiting for that verse, right? So he had to explain that to Nick Cannon, and what he talks about is that he gave a warning to him. He's like, look, I'm going to upload this. This is my album, but I'm telling you, it's Eminem. You shouldn't go at him. But obviously, we all know how it rolled out. Now, this is very essential to the whole idea of the beef, because now we know how it came to be, and now we know it's not really part of Joe's fault, because a lot of people were talking or speculating, how did he know Eminem's verse is on there, or did he actually fall for a little trap that Joe and Nick Cannon made for Eminem, stuff like that. So that's basically it. I just wanted to give you guys an update on that situation. This Alpha Records, I'm out. Take care. Subscribe, hit that notification button. I got another story coming through today, and keep sharing, keep liking. I see a lot of channel growth going on lately, and I'm really happy for that, guys. Thank you very much. And I got a lot of feedback from you guys. I'll be doing a little things differently in my videos, but thank you very much for all those watching, the people that have subscribed. Keep sharing, like I mentioned, and hopefully we can grow this family into something big, right?